Anyway.
Hello, and today we're going to talk about self-diagnosis because the majority of people nowadays seem to need something wrong with them to make them special.
And that's like the 12-year-olds that you see saying that they've got depression or saying that they've got bipolar or things like that. And I think kind of talking about both types, because then there's those people that go, oh, I've got a headache, I must have a brain tumour, which is a bit weird, but then people actually kind of go out and say I've got bipolar, because you can't look at somebody and say, no, you don't have bipolar, because how do you know? You can't go around judging of people's lives if, because you're 12 and you've got rights.
So basically, we don't understand the point. I mean, those people that turn around and say, oh, I've got this, I've got that, are taking the attention away from people that genuinely do have the diseases.
It's because it puts the statistics up higher. So say that if in reality, this is totally false, don't even listen, 1 in 20 people, let's say, has depression. You get these little 12-year-old girls saying they've got depression, answering surveys saying they've got depression, because otherwise where do you get statistics from? And then it turns out that it says on the survey 1 in 10 people have depression because of all these just fangirlers, which is a bit creepy, because I don't understand why you'd want to have mental conditions, but then some people do, because I think it's the attention and the thought of belonging to a certain group and the thought of
being special
and being different to other people. But then you're not different because everybody's saying they've got it. So you're actually different to be mentally stable these days. But I don't know.
And pretty much the problem is, once you turn around and say you've got all this stuff wrong with you,
Can't take it back.
I'm saying, what are you going to do when you actually get something wrong with you?
Yeah.
What are you going to do when you really are having a horrible time with your life and you're getting to the point of severe depression? You being 12 and saying you've got depression, no one's going to care when you become 14, 15 and actually feel upset about things.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of thinking as well, oh my god, that's terrible.
We was.
Yeah, we were kind of thinking as well, whilst doing it, that the fact that the word depressed, to be depressed, you have to have depression. Now, I'm saying you're not born with depression and die with depression. It's not how that works. And depression you get episodes of depression, unless, of course, you've got, chronic. Unless you've got chronic depression, you can have stages where you're depressed, but those are actual depression. And then to kind of, you can't sit there and say,
oh, I'm really depressed, my boyfriend broke up with me, I'll never be happy again.
I'm going to eat this chocolate bar, and tomorrow it's all going to be gone. I'm going to have my pants down with enough boy anyway. Because, you're 12 and that's what 12-year-olds do. No, we kind of, we decided to look up as well, so we're not just talking about absolute shit. Look up. It says, depression is a constellation of symptoms that varies from person to person. If you have at least 5 of the symptoms listed below for at least 2 weeks.
Not one day.
No. And they are not caused by a medical disorder, drug use, or bereavement, then you very likely have had an episode of major depression. And that one is a depressed mood, but then I guess they'd say they were depressed anyway. A persuasive and sometimes profound loss
pervasive.
Why did I say persuasive? I need my glasses on.
Pervasive and sometimes profound loss of interest in usual activities.
That's basically not enjoying absolutely anything anymore. So if you're still enjoying Hugh Grant movies, then no. One of these first 2 symptoms must be included for the diagnosis, otherwise it just isn't there. Loss of appetite or significant weight loss.
Insomnia or excessive sleep.
Physical slowdown or agitation.
Lack of energy and fatigue.
Feelings of guilt or worthlessness that may be of delusional proportions, like believing how much it is that it isn't really at all, and that people do still like you.
Poor concentration or indecisiveness.
And recurrent thoughts of death or suicidal ideas, plans or attempts. That one's I think for thinking about death and being suicidal, I think are different things, because I think everybody has those times where you think about death because, I don't know, you're curious, because you're never going to know. Nobody's ever going to know what it's like to die. And Yeah, I know, it was really bright when we started trying to film this, but now it's just gone a bit ugly.
And you can't see
No.
my hair.
I think that these suicide ideas, plans, or attempts have to have some actual meaning. Like, you can say, "Oh, I thought about killing myself once, but then I saw that Cartoon Network was on." I think it's got to be something that doesn't leave your mind for a very long time, and the plan has to be an exact plan. You have to decide.
You can't think, oh, if I were to kill myself, I'd shoot myself in the head
Because it'd be easy.
it'd be easier.
I've already got
my gun.
Because I'm Fug Life. This is gonna get shitloads of dislikes. I'm not hating at all, because I've come from a family and I've had lots of history with things, with mental disorders and stuff, and I know what it's like to be surrounded by that, at least. And I hate seeing now how much it doesn't matter that people that I'm close to struggle with those problems and stuff, because there's so many people out there that do. And who are we to tell somebody that they don't have depression? Because you can't go up to us. Somebody says to you, "I've got depression." You don't say, "What was it diagnosed by a doctor?" Because then you just look like a prick. You're supposed to be nice and you're supposed to be concerned and stuff, as opposed to just being, I don't know. I guess there are some things you can self-diagnose. I mean, I use this as an example with somebody. You can self-diagnose some eating disorders. You can self-diagnose bulimia, because bulimia is more complicated anyway, but say,
the general principle of it.
You eat a lot, you stick your fingers down your throat, you take laxatives, whatever like that, then yeah, that's bulimia. But it's not that simple with ones that aren't to do, or with self-diagnosed self-harm, because it's obvious, isn't it? If you're hurting yourself, then that's what it is.
Oh no! And as you can tell, we are back, but the lighting down there was horrendous, so we have moved here.
And we can't make any sudden movements because the bed will probably fall over because it's very creaky as it is. And we're going to Yes, Leah, I would like to break your bed.
Who wouldn't?
Everybody else.
We have totally taken a serious topic and ruined it now, but
we're going to carry on anyway. What are we going to carry on with?
We just gone and said that you can't self-diagnose. You can self-diagnose some eating disorders. Some, obviously, you can diagnose self-harm because it's pretty obvious what it is. But you cannot diagnose
bad hair.
The majority. You can't diagnose bad hair. You can't diagnose the majority of mental health issues. And true dat, bro. Come at me, ho.
I don't know, because it's kind of trying to strike the right balance between recognizing if you have a problem and hello feet, and self-diagnosing something that you don't have. Like, if you think that you could have depression or bipolar or any of those types of mood disorders, especially,
then you need to see a doctor rather than go around telling everyone you really have them.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is that you do need a course to go and get some form of professional help. But you're not going to get help by telling your friend that you've got it, because
what are they going to do?
You can say, "I've got symptoms, what do you think I should do?" But to say, "I have this." And I mean, even if you say it, I think it's a lot different as well, because people generally, you find out that somebody has depression or something, and it's like, wow, because you really don't expect it, and it's like they only told their best friend, and the best friend accidentally told whoever. When it's fake, you can tell, because everybody knows in the next 24 hours, and you're thinking, if they really had it, they wouldn't be telling this many people, or if they didn't want the attention from it, they wouldn't be telling this many people. And people, I think, with actual depression don't want attention. They don't want people to know. They just want help, and they just want to not feel like crap anymore, rather than wanting for world and his dog to know, which the attention seekers seem to want. They obviously still have an issue because
They're obviously deprived of attention somewhere else in their life,
yes,
and therefore feel the need to build it up on either to their friends or to social networking sites.
yeah,
However, in the long run, if you think you've got it, then you need to tell someone that can actually do something about it. Talk to your parents, talk to a doctor, talk to a close friend. Hell, worst comes to worst, talk to school about it. I'm sure they could probably fix you up with something.
But talking to
Talking to a random guy you saw in the street is not going to help you.